talk about how people are buying these. I'm sure that a lot of people pay cash. Mm-hmm. I'm guessing that people also use maybe retirement funds. Mm-hmm. And maybe there's loans. Are there any loans available on these types of properties? Or how are most people buying these off of you guys?
75%, I would say, of our buyers are mostly conventional financing. So they're putting 20% down and they're leveraging the 80%, getting low interest rates, so super cheap money. You think about it, if on a $80,000 note, mortgage payment at 6% on a 30-year fix is about $496. Ask me how I know this number like that. And then if you got a rent of $1,000, you minus the mortgage payment, your taxes, your insurance, your property management fees. These things are shaking out about $300 a month on a $1,000 door. Right?
So hold on, let me get this straight. You can buy one for $100K, put $20K down, and get $300 a month.
Yeah, about $3,600 a year or $4,000 a year per unit. And if you got 10 of them, that's $40,000 mailbox money.
It's a great little model.
It works.
Yeah.
I didn't invent this, by the way.
Yeah, no, it's slow. It's slow and steady wins the race. I mean, that's really good. I like that a lot, especially for a lot of people that are like looking to get into real estate investing, mm-hmm. because around here in San Diego, the average home price is $600-700K for a starter house. You're going to put down a couple $100,000 to get into something, and if you can get in for $20K to start earning income, that's a great place to start.
And that $200K, if you put it in a house here in San Diego, that $200K could leverage an investor into 10 rental properties.
Oh, great point.
If 10 of them cash flowed on average $300, now you've got $3,000 mailbox money just coming in residually. And then you've got, I love other people's time, other people's money. The tenant's paying down our principal, increasing our equity position. We get the cash flow. We get the tax benefits from the depreciation over 27 and a half years each year on our mm-hmm. schedule. And then the other benefit that many investors don't think about is the loan that is issued to us from the bank. They only ask us to pay the money back in nominal dollars. And as we progress through life, we have wage increases, price increases. So we're paying back the loan with nominal dollars, not inflation adjusted dollars. So there's another savings there as well. So by the time you kind of add all this up between the appreciation, depreciation, the cash flow, the hedge against, I call it the hedge against inflation or inflation profiting. By the time you kind of add up all these percentages, it really shakes out to high double digit rate of return just on one investment property.
That's great. Yeah, what a great way to do it. And then I know that people are also investing with retirement funds, right?
Yeah, how does that work? Yeah, so people buy in a variety of ways. They use the leverage from the bank. People have money sitting in their retirement accounts that may not be beating the rate of inflation. So for the way that I calculate the equation for building wealth is your rate of return or your return on equity needs to be higher than what the inflationary rate is. So if you've got $500,000 sitting in a retirement account and it's earning you 4%, that money needs to be moved to anything that's going to produce a yield higher than what, in my estimation, the inflationary rate is around 6%. The government will report at 2 or 3, but they always tell us the truth. So, I'm a big fan of 7% or higher rate of return on your money. Now you're creating real wealth. So people use retirement accounts. They can purchase in two ways through a retirement account. You got to self-direct the funds. So if they're not self-directed, you just got to take them from, say, maybe an old 401k that wasn't rolled over, roll it into a trust company. Then you've got access to that money that you can direct those funds to invest in any income-producing asset that you want. There's some limitations, like life insurance policies and Oriental rugs or something rare. It's weird. But you can invest in anything. And so a lot of our investors will take that money, roll it into a trust company, and then they'll self-direct those funds to invest in rental properties, apartment buildings. They can do a lot of things with it. There's another way that you can purchase also within your self-directed IRA, and that's using a non-recourse loan. So if you want to leverage the heck out of your IRA, you can do that too. The terms are a little different. It's more of a 50% down, 9 to 12% interest. Don't freak out. It's usually a 10 to 15 year term, with no prepayment penalty. So you can leverage those funds, access additional rental properties.
So that's you getting a loan through your self-directed IRA or 401k or whatever it is?
There are companies that are non-recourse lending companies that will lend to your IRA to fund half of your deals.
So if you put 50% down, you can get a loan like that and leverage even further in your retirement account.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. So, and the beauty of this is that most of us can't touch those funds until we're 59 and a half anyway. That's when we're required to start withdrawing. And if you've got 100,000, $500,000 sitting in there and it's not earning more than inflation, then leverage the heck out of those funds, diversify into income producing assets. I don't care which. I specialize in single family. You can choose to do whatever you want. But use that leverage to get into, I mean, if you're putting 50% down on a, I don't know, $100,000 asset, and you've got 5 of them, now look at your portfolio, and you've got, it's on auto, everything's on automatic, right? Because you've got the asset sitting in your self-directed IRA, you've got the cash flow coming in, you've got the payments being made, and then you've got the equity that's being increased, the principal that's coming down, the cash flow that's coming in, and guess what? You're doing nothing. Your retirement account is overflowing with cash and building up equity when these assets, and that by the time you're ready to withdraw those funds, you've got a pretty sizable nest egg in there that you just had on auto cash flow.
Right. And so those are all the money, I'm guessing, goes into the IRA. So you can't touch the money, but you can stack it up real nice.
Correct. So the rule is the IRA is the only one that can direct the funds. So when you have expenses or cash flow, it all goes back into that account. Now you own it, but the self-directed IRA, the custodian, they manage it. You just tell them, hey, I want you to do this. They do it. If there's a bill, you ask the company to pay the bill for you. The funds come out of the IRA, and if they've got some cash flow, the cash flow goes right back into the IRA. You don't touch it at all.
Very cool. So I think I really like this topic, actually, because I think that retirement funds are a great source of funds for people to put in play on real estate, especially people that are like tired of the stock market or just tired of not making any money with their retirement accounts. How does that process work? Is it just rolling over to a self-directed account and then telling the custodian, I want to invest with Maureen, or I want to buy a property in Tennessee or whatever?
Yeah, it's really simple. So if you're still employed, you can't roll over your active 401k. That stays with your company. Okay. If you've got an old 401k from another company, which many of us probably do, you just never rolled it over, or if you've got an IRA account that's set up and you want to get those funds being more active, then you can it's just a quick little transfer, some paperwork, right? There's always some paperwork, transfer the funds over to a self-directed custodian. Once the funds are there, then, if you wanted to buy rental properties in Tennessee or Birmingham, or you wanted to buy multi-unit, you can also pool the funds, right? So let's say you can't pool with direct family members, but let's say you've got $100,000 in a self-directed IRA, I have $100,000 in mine, and we find an asset of $150,000 that we want to purchase, we can purchase it outright cash 50-50 from our funds combined. And then, so the way that it works is that all the cash flow that comes in from that asset, 50-50 to you, 50 to me, any expenses, 50 from you, 50 from me. So you can use these vehicles as great wealth generating tools by being able to combine funds to invest in bigger assets, multi-units, things like that.
Really learning that game, I think, is going to be really important, especially, as the baby boomers get older and more people are going to be looking to put that kind of money in play. Do you have any resources that you would recommend for people that were interested in doing that?
Absolutely. So Bay Point Capital is a good group that we work with. Gold Coast Capital is another one. They are organizations that specialize in non-recourse lending. It's not a real popular niche. There's only a few people that do it. So I know where they are because I've been doing this for 10 years. So, and the custodians, there's so many custodians that investors could just roll their money over to. Equity Trust is a company that I use, but there's many trust companies. A Google search, you probably have pages of them on where you could go.
And is that less important than the good lender?
Both are important because one, the customers, I'm a huge customer service person.
Definitely.
And you want people that are going to answer your phone, that are going to be responsive, they're going to give you the right advice, tell you the right paperwork to fill out, walk you through some of that stuff when it's all new and you're stumbling through it. You want someone to just really make it a fluid transaction for you. So the custodian is really important for me. I love Equity Trust, and then and Specialized IRA Services, they're another good company. And then the non-recourse lending, there's only two that I work with, and they're stellar because they have to be.
Is there anything that people should be worried about or know on like the negative side, or what to watch out for if they are thinking about using retirement funds?
You have to have reserves, right? So if you're when you're buying rental properties or multi-units, there's going to be some maintenance and vacancy expenses that will come up. So you have to have a reserve set aside inside the account to make sure that if you need a new roof, we're only allowed to contribute so much money per year. And if you contributed your $5,000 for the year, and you've got a roofing bill of $10,000, and you don't have $10,000 in your account, you're in deep kinji at that point, right? You're gonna have to go find some other partner, investor that has money that wants to, give it to you to help fix up your property. So you got to keep those reserves; those are key. But the custodians will tell you that. Okay. They guide you through all that to keep you safe.
Cool. So just follow the rules, and it sounds like you'll be all right. Are these only single families, or do you do multifamily as well?
Mm-hmm. Single family.
Single family.
We are, if you're going to be good at something, be really good, be the best at it.
That's true.
And so we are specialized in single families, expanding into additional markets. There was one thing that you mentioned earlier that I wanted to come back to, because it was an article that I just read, and it's talking about the baby boomers, and there's a lot of them crossing over, right? So there's going to be the largest transference of wealth from the baby boomers to our generation. And here's what's so interesting is that there was a study that was done, polled over 4,000 people, and it's called, they were calling them middle age at 50. I was like, oh, okay, is that middle age now? I guess I'm becoming middle age here. I did get the AARP invitation to join.
You're all sad, like, man, Michelle's right there with you.
Oh, I totally got the same thing.
I'm looking at it, I'm like, what? This is what my mom and dad get.
You'll never saw
me.
it.
But what the interesting thing is that the survey of 4,000 people over 50 years and older, the biggest fear that they have is not death, it's not divorce, it's not losing their independence. It is outliving their money.
Running out of money.
It's running out of money is their biggest fear. And then 47% of CP or financial advisors that were surveyed as well, they all said, or 47% of them said that that's the biggest complaint that their clients come in and say, I'm afraid I'm not going to have enough money. And so I think that's a travesty. I don't think anyone should live that way. And I love what Grant Cardone said. He said, people always talk about financial freedom. He's like, I want freedom of worry. I want so much income producing. I want people writing me checks every single month that I don't have to worry about anything. And I thought that's a better way.
That's the way to do it right there. Yeah.
So that's what my passion is. That's what my drive is. I just want to help as many people create these streams of income through single family rental properties. I do commercial stuff personally, but that's not what I sell. It's the single family, but it's selling the rental properties, but it's really more giving people the passive income that they need and want so that they can live and design the life that they want for them and their families. And that's what I'm all about.
And then what about any issues with like vacancies and stuff like that in these properties, or how do you guys handle that to make sure investors are protected on that?
Yeah, so there's always going to be, with any rental property, you're always going to have maintenance and vacancies. The maintenance stuff you want to keep to the ticky-tacky stuff. That's why our renovation philosophy is always, put the large CapEx items, replace them if they're 5 years or older, all hardscape, no carpet. No appliances. So let's keep all of those expenses down as much as we can. Because you don't want me calling you and saying, hey, Oliver, your refrigerator busted, now I need $1,000 and then someone to install it. You're not going to be happy with that. And then, so we mitigate and protect our investors' capital by removing some of the items from the home that they don't really need. They don't need garbage disposers or ceiling fans or doorbells, right? I don't need someone calling me to ask me to fix that. So we just don't have them. So I can protect your capital that way. Knock on the door,
Yeah, it's smart.
knock,
Yeah.
right? And then as far as the vacancy goes, you will have turnover. You have people that, we've had people that, have fallen ill. We have people that have divorced. We have people that lost their jobs. It's just life stuff that happens. And so the system that you have to have in place is to be able to, get those renters out of the property and then quickly turn it from getting it reconditioned, getting it back on the market, highly actively marketing it, mostly on social media. That's where a lot of people go to look for rentals, and then just getting it performing again. So, and a lot of it comes from screening. You got to screen. Now, people can look really good on paper, as you know, right? And then something happens 3 months in, 12 months in, 2 years later, life changes, and you just have to have a team and a system that can get them out and get the new one in and just get it cash flowing again.
And so what would you say average is like your turn time when someone loses a tenant in terms of like out versus getting someone new in?
So our turn time on getting the property ready is 4.2 days. Everyone in my company has a bonus structure, and they are paid to perform. And if they perform, if they pay to perform, or if they perform exceptionally well, they get an exceptionally big bonus.
So the quicker they rent it, the quicker the bigger their bonus is.
Yes. So Amanda,
Really
she gets paid when she turns the property. Miranda gets paid on accounts receivable. So she's a professional debt collector, actually. Mm-hmm. And so the more money that we have collected up in the earlier weeks or earlier days of the week, out of the month, she gets a bigger bonus. So the system is set up that if everyone in my company performs, they get really big bonuses. And the investor wins because they've got an income producing property that is just consistent on the cash flow.
That's great.
So that works.
Yeah, that's great. Smart too. Incentivize people to perform better and everybody wins. Keep your investors happy too.